meeting tonight is about Alparon Park, and a few rules of engagement. This is about Alparon Park and only about Alparon Park. If you have any questions about the budget or any of the projects we have other than Alparon going on at the school, we have a regular meeting starting at 7. If you have any comments or questions during that, we'll do that during our regular session. This is about Alparon and our football program only. After we have a presentation from Mr. Regina, I'm going to open the floor to Q&A. Anybody has a comment, they will be limited to 3 minutes. Mr. Kern has a stopwatch. When your 3 minutes elapse, you will raise your hand. You will sit down and let the next person come up. If you have a comment, if you can line up with the mics, that'd be great. If you have a voice that is a lot louder than mine, you're welcome to stand up as long as everybody can hear. And if the meeting extends, if we don't get all your comments in, the meeting is going to extend past 7 o'clock. We're going to have to pause. We're going to have to open for our regular session, and then we'll continue with the forum. With that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Regina.
Before Mr. Regina starts, I'd like to mention that Jared Roy is we're going to hold here with us. He's from a remote location, so he will be hearing all the comments as well as the comments.
Good evening, everyone. Just to update everybody where we are at the moment. We are at the end of our 20-year lease with Alparon. We've been in negotiations with them and had some differences on where we're at the moment. Currently, there's a 42% increase that's been given to the school, and just want to present you guys with the facts so you can kind of see what's going on, what we're trying to decide on, and get some input from the community. So without further ado. What do we pay for at Alparon? We, of course, have the rent that everybody's kind of heard about if you've been able to read the newspapers lately. We do pay for field supplies and field prep, and we'll get into a little bit more what that means. We pay for electric, gas, and then, of course, workers, securities, and officials. Just to clear up the percent change, I'm a math major. I like to see equations on the board, so forgive me. But we were at 10,600. We are now at 15,000. New minus old divided by old times 100% gives you a percent change, and that's at 41.5%, rounded to 42. What we pay. These are, the single asterisks are what we paid for last year. The double is what we estimate our usage to be, is what we budget for each year. Our line paint was $2,191.95. The grass seeding and field prep, we allocate $2,000. And for lights and gas, we paid $3,918.20. How many workers do we have in a game? Well, we have 6 ticket takers at $37 a piece. We have 4 chain workers, $37 each, 1 announcer, 1 scoreboard operator, both at $37. We have 6 security guards. That can change based on the size of the game. We have 1 game manager, and we have 5 officials. And again, sometimes we do go to 6 officials. Towanda and Wyalusing are 2 schools that only use 6 officials for RC games, but we didn't want to make the cost too big because we don't do that all the time. For junior high and JV games, we do remove ticket takers because we do not collect money. We use less officials, and we only use 3 security guards, and again, that can change based on the size of the game. To break it down, our varsity worker costs are $819 per game for 5 games, which gives you a total of $4,095. JV workers, 556 per game for 5 games. That gives you a total of 2,780. And junior high, 3 games. And that can be 4, but next year will be 3. $521 for a total of $1,563. Our total worker costs, $8,438. Our field prep and utilities cost, $8,110.15, and the proposed rent is $15,000. The approximate cost, and that's approximate because I took off the 15 cents, was $31,548. This is what we pay to run a game. Just to be clear, because I know sometimes the number was out there that we're going to be saving $22,000. People say, well, wait a second, if it's $15,000 rent, how is that possible? And I wanted to make sure that you understood what we actually paid for down there. I've also heard your revenue will make up the cost. Well, this is our revenue from last year. I have some little subtitles by certain games, and I'll explain why. The Wellsboro game brought in $2,610. The Athens game brought in $3,308. The Loyalsock game, $2,918. North Penn, $2,365. And Canton, $4,821. And that's a total of $16,022. Now this is, we did a 5-year history on this. This is the highest revenue that we've had in 5 years. To tell you how much the Canton game means, 3 years ago, last year we had Canton, the year before we had Canton. The year before that, our revenue was $10,000 total. So it does drastically change depending on who we play and how good our team is. You don't need to be great at math to see the profit or loss figure here. Loss of $15,526. Now, I know we're talking about Alparon tonight, but it's important that you understand all the options on the table. So, the first one, of course, that you've read about is Tawanda. To run a game at Tawanda, it's going to cost us $7,045 for workers and officials. Our field prep and utilities will cost us $1,500. And the additional transportation, now this counts both varsity games and the fact that our JV and junior high will be traveling. Okay, it's an additional $1,894 for a total cost of $10,439. You saw the revenue totals. In no game were we under $2,000. But in order to make this fair looking anyway, I only assumed that we would make $2,000 per game at Tawanda. With that being said, the revenue was only $10,000. Our cost was $10,439, which gives you a loss of $439. Now, we all know that that's a complete estimate. We don't know what our revenues would be in Tawanda, but that's our best guess. Mansfield University was the other facility that we've been discussing. Our total worker cost was $2,610. You may be asking, why is that so much smaller than the other totals? They've said that they pay for most of our workers. Really, that cost there is for our chain crew, our announcer, our scorekeeper, and officials. Our field prep and utilities costs are $0. They will not be charging us for lights or for any field prep whatsoever. It's a turf field, so there isn't much. Rent, they'll be charging us no rent. Additional transportation, being that Tawanda and Mansfield were fairly close, we used the same total from the Tawanda total, so you'll notice that's still $1,894. The total cost is $4,504. There's no revenue generated here, because at Mansfield, they will be taking the gate if we play there. So there's obviously no revenue that we'd have going to Mansfield. To make it easier to see, so it does look a bit That's how they stack up. Our costs at Alparon, our costs at Tawanda, and our cost at MU. Advantages and disadvantages. I mean, we kept this as factual as we can. The advantages of being in Alparon, it's in our hometown. And the one thing you'll notice, no matter what board member you speak to, or administrator, or teacher, or coach, they'll say the same thing. They don't want to leave Troy. That is not the purpose here. We want to stay right here. We don't want to go anywhere. We just can't honestly do that for that much money. That's the issue. Staying at Alparon, it benefits our local community. We know that. And we like that part about it. Of course we do. Some of the negatives, it is a poorly drained field, and anyone would tell you that. Adequate seating on the home side, we know the away side is not, and it's a high cost. Tawanda provides the best profit margin, again with the estimated revenue that we have. It provides a synthetic turf facility with modern bleachers. The negative, we play at a rival's field. And for those that are in sports, that's a negative. It's a distance to Tawanda. And there will be some Saturday night games. As a matter of fact, it could be all Saturday night games. Mansfield has an advantage. It's a neutral site. It's no one else's home field, at least at the high school level. It's a state-of-the-art university facility. We can't argue that. We can still play on Friday nights. The only option that Mansfield said was that you can't play there until we get our first shot at under the lights ourselves. So we understand that. They just put the lights up this year.